Hey guys, I wanted to hop on here and share a dream with you that I had actually a while ago. It's kind of funny because I totally forgot about this dream. Like it just reappeared in my mind when I was talking to my mom and my husband about some end time dreams I've had in the past. And then all of a sudden I sat there, I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. And then I had this dream and I, for some reason, never wrote it down or documented it. I don't know why, because during when I was sharing that dream with my mom and my husband, I almost got teary eyed because it's kind of weird, like how I just forgot about it. And it's such a moving, powerful dream. At least it felt that way when I dreamed it and remembered it and shared it. So I thought I would share that with you guys, and I'm surprised I haven't, honestly. And I connected it with Revelation, and I'll get to that part, but let me share the dream with you guys first. So it started off where I was hiking, or just walking, on this trail. It was really beautiful, just like a little windy trail, and there was like fields around me and grass, and in the distance, not too far away, was like this beautiful like big boulder. It was like a rock, kind of like a mountainous boulder looking rock thing, sort of like the focal point of the area that we were hiking at. I was by myself, but I was walking and I noticed like people were kind of scattered that were hiking and walking there like on their own. And I noticed that people were all facing left towards the boulder. And all of a sudden I just noticed that everyone was like just walking that way. Like as if they were looking at something and just were like just drawn to it. And they all walked towards the boulder, and I saw there was a little off trail to the left of me. So I was like, you know what, let's just see what everyone's doing. I want to see what they're looking at. So I followed them and I went on that little off trail, and then there was this big open field, and there was like a ton of people. I mean, like a huge crowd of people staring at the big mountainous rock boulder thing. And I kid you not, it was like while everyone was looking at the boulder, it was like there was this big, huge projection on the boulder of Jesus's feet. Like that's all it was. It was a projection of Jesus's feet, as if it was there shown to us from Jesus. Like God was showing us for some reason his feet on this big mountainous boulder. Hi, Aurora. My daughter's outside and she's waving at me. But anyway, and so I saw that boulder and the projection of the feet, you guys. And all of a sudden, as everyone saw that, the whole crowd was cheering and clapping and just overjoyed, like just so excited and just clapping their hands, just because all we could see was Jesus's feet. Like, I didn't even know if everyone even knew or had an understanding of what they were really looking at, but they couldn't help but cheer and clap and be in amazement, like pretty much worshiping it, just seeing his feet. And just remembering this dream, I look at it and it's just so beautiful and just so powerful, like that truly just the presence of the Lord and Jesus is something so incredible that we can't help but worship him and can't help but be amazed by the beauty of who he is and what he's done for us. And so because I remembered this dream, you know, as I was talking about end times with my mom and my husband, I couldn't help but think, is this correlated somehow with end times? You know, I've had dreams before where it's like crowds of people in like a field, and it all felt very end timesy, you know. I've shared some of those in my earlier videos on my channel, and it's interesting how that there's always that in common in my dreams. But so anyway, with that thought in mind, thinking maybe this was had to do with, you know, end times and the rapture and everything, I looked this up. I looked up in Revelation somewhere where there was something about mountains, okay? I have this amazing book, which you guys should get. My Grammy Twyla got it for me. If you're interested in Revelation and trying to understand what the book is trying to say, because a lot of it's very like symbolism or in a way that's spoken that we might not really get. It's a very interesting book, as most of you know. It's called The Book of Revelation Made Clear by Tim, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but LaHaye and Timothy E. Parker. So get this, it's really interesting because it goes through the whole book of Revelation, explains what each verse means. So it's really, really good. But anyway, so I looked up a verse in Revelation about mountains, okay? And it's really interesting how this connects. I'm going to read it to you and then read right here what it means, okay? So Revelation 6:13 through 17 says, "And the stars of heaven fell to earth as a fig tree drops its late figs when it is shaken by a mighty wind. Then the sky receded as a scroll when it rolled up, and every mountain and island was moved out of its place. And the kings of the earth, the great men, the rich men, the commanders, the mighty men, every slave and every free man hid themselves in the caves and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, 'Fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb, for the great day of his wrath has come, and who is able to stand?'" Wow. You know, what's really funny is I didn't even notice that it said rocks when I read this first. Rocks and the rocks in the mountains. And my dream, that was literally a boulder that was like, it looked so rocky and mountainous that I didn't even notice that. So that's, wow. Anyway, so here it kind of explains, and it gets more into detail about it. But if you look at the brief description, it says, oh, thank you, Aurora. You shut the door for me? Yeah. Thank you. She made me some sort of...
That's rice cream with cookies and sprinkles.
Oh, thank you, honey. It's mud, but it's ice cream. Okay, so this is how it was explaining.
Can I try my ice cream now?
What was?
Can I try my
Oh, it's not frozen yet, but I need to finish my video. Okay, thank you. Bye. Okay, sorry. Sorry if I get interrupted a few times. I'm home alone with my daughter. Anyway, okay, so here's an interpretation of what that passage meant briefly. So it says the entire earth is affected in this verse, okay? Nature is turned upside down as the last day of the tribulation arrives and Jesus returns to set up his kingdom and rule on earth. This is the Lamb's day of wrath as outlined in Matthew. And it says, sinful people, earthly shunners of Jesus, are now terrified of him and his judgment, seeking to hide from his face at all costs. Yet no one, not one, will be able to escape him in his reach. So I found it super interesting that, for one, this was about people running to the rocks and mountains, hoping that they can hide from Jesus in the end times during the tribulation, because Jesus was going to make his appearance. And my dream was us seeing like a projection of Jesus's feet. I don't know if any of you are good at interpreting dreams or not, but in my mind, after reading this, to me, it's kind of like right now, this hasn't happened yet. Like, we're not in the tribulation yet. And us believers, we're aware of the fact, we're aware of the signs that are happening right now. Like, there's so much going on, you guys, right now, as you probably can tell. Like, so I'll get into that another time. But with all that said, we are aware of the times, and it's almost like a prophetic thing or something of what's to come. And yet we will be safe because we believe in Jesus, and we instead of going to those mountains in fear, hiding from Jesus, we don't have to be, because we're going to be rescued and safe with God in heaven, and he's going to protect us. You know what I mean? And the fact that we'll be able to run to him in awe and worship him at his feet instead of running in fear. You know what I mean? And I just thought it was really beautiful. And I don't know, you know, I know the Lord speaks to us in dreams, and he speaks to us on all different levels that, you know, personally we can understand. And it's almost as if I feel like the Lord's showing us like we're safe, the one that we believe we're safe, and that he is coming. He's coming soon. And we need to keep telling people, you guys, the truth of who Jesus is. None of this legalistic religion stuff, you guys. Stop judging people. Stop living in a certain way that makes people want to run from Jesus. Act like Jesus and share the truth with others. Share the gospel before time's out. He is so amazing and so gracious to share and speak to us and show us that it's happening and it's coming. So that way we can be ready and not be unaware of the times, and that we can disciple others and share the word with others. He wants to save all of us. He doesn't want us to hide in fear of him. He wants us to run to him at his feet and love us and bless us. So I wanted to share this with you all. Tell me if you have any thoughts about my dream or just this verse, the times, whatever. I want to hear it. And bless you all in these crazy times. I hope you all have a great evening, and we'll talk soon. God bless.